This is the 2019 Paper 1 question 11, and what we have is we first of all have this shape, and it's then modified to create this design here, and we have to find the size of angle OFB, and it's the one highlighted in blue. It's this one, OFB. So let's have a look up here. So it's a regular pentagon inside a circle, meaning that all 5 of the sides have to be the same length, 5 sides of the pentagon, and the vertices lie on a circumference of a circle, and the centre is O. And you see this. If you have a look, first of all, angle AOB, which I'm going to do a dot on that one, and we'll do a dot on this one. Those are the same angle. If you have a look at it, you should be able to see that these two are the same angle. So let's first of all calculate the angle AOB. Now if you have a look at it, this angle has to be equal to this angle, which in turn has to also be equal to this angle, and same with this angle, and last but not least, this angle. It keeps changing. All of these 5 angles have to be the same round that point because it's a regular pentagon. So if they're all the same, then going to find AOB. Has to equal, well, it's 360 divided by 5, because the total angle around the entire point is 360, and we divide by 5 and get 72. That's 72 degrees is that first angle. So then we have the AOB is 72, and I will mark this one on. So we have 72. Now the next big hint is we have AOF. Well, AF is a diameter. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that this angle that I draw in pink, so this angle has to be 180. Because this is a straight line, so that angle has to be 180. But if we know that the angle AOB is 72, then to find, I will mark this in with red. If we want to find this angle, which is FOB or BOF, that's 180 minus 72. So to write that down properly, we say the angle FOB. So FOB equals 180 minus AOB that is 180 minus 72, and that's 108 degrees. So we then can label that on the diagram and put 108. So we have the triangle FOB. Now let's have a look at just FOB. So it's this. So that is FOB. And we have that O is 108. 108 degrees. Now the total angle, the total of the angles in this triangle have to be 180, like any triangle. But we're going to look at the fact that OF is a radius of the circle, and OB is also a radius, because B and F are both on the circumference and O is at the centre. So both of these have to be the radius or a radius of the circle. So if you want to justify this, we say OF and OB are radii. The plural of radius is radii of the circle. Now that's important for one particular reason, because if they both represent the radius, then the angles opposite them must be the same length. I will repeat that one. If we have this and this being the same length, then the angles opposite these two sides must equal each other. So this must equal this. And we can see that this side is opposite that angle, and this side is opposite this angle. So those must equal each other. And the angle is OFB. So we know that angle OFB, which is the one we want to find out, is equal to OBF. With OBF is this one and OFB is this one. So they are equal to each other. And we know that the sum of OFB and OBF has to be 180 minus 108, because this angle uses up 108 of the total 180, so to speak, because the total of the angles must be 180, but this angle is 108, so the other two combined must be 72. It's a good idea to justify all of this in an exam. So we'll say 180 minus, and we'll label this one FOB. So FOB, or 180 Now, because they are both equal to each other, you know that OFB has to be 72 divided by 2. And that gives us a final answer of 36 degrees. Whoops. So that is the final answer, is 36. We'll underline this one just to be clear. That's 36. And that's us finished. Let's have a look at how the SQA would give out the marks to this question. Your first mark would be to find the angle AOB, 1 mark. The second would be to get the angle FOB of 108, and using that to find the angle of 36 would be the last mark. Another way you could do this question is by writing each angle onto the diagram. You could either draw the diagram yourself or add these onto the diagram given in the question, because you do write on the sheet for the exam. And you have to label any working and indicate exactly which angle you're talking about, because there's a lot of angles, so you have to be very clear with your angle convention. So for example, we'll go with, suppose we had this angle. What I should explain is you write an angle in this form, this, then 3 letters. The angle at the centre goes in the middle, so in this case it's ODC. You see that D is in the middle of that, so D goes in the middle, and you can either write ODC or CDO. Again, you do have to get this convention and notation correct in if you write these down. So I hope you found this video useful, and thank you for watching. Best of luck with the studying.